now in Americas has been something in the secondary and tertiary decks.
Through a Vendetta and Thief package. You know, even though Monsanto's deck list has like a ton of ways to go deep into the game with like, you know, double Togwaggle scheme and other shenanigans like that, it does feel like sometimes it's stuck doing nothing on the board, and that's what Rogue does best as a class. If you want like a value engine that goes late into the game, there's plenty of other classes that do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, one part of what capitalizes on Rogue is, you know, tempo. And that's, I mean, StrifeCro even felt like when we call it like a Thief or a Brogal Rogue, he's like, you guys should really go back to calling it Tempo Rogue. And I'm like, well, we called the other version of Rogue Tempo Rogue too. We kind of wanted to differentiate it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the number one thing that I like about StrifeCro's list is that he still plays Preparation. I feel like this card is still really good, even though most people assume that it's not as powerful. Well, I mean, it is not as powerful. People assume that it's just not playable, and that's just not. I think that that's a fallacy. It's still a very good card.
Yeah, Sap and Eviscerate still exist in the deck, and as long as those exist in the deck, being able to prep Sap, prep Eviscerate, and then like Edwin or SI7 Agent, or even Evil Miscreant is still just an incredibly powerful play. And I think even just for Edwin alone, like, I know it's kind of weird to have that many cards in your deck to activate a single card, but the amount of times that like a 6/6 or an 8/8 Edwin that goes unchecked wins the games is one of the reasons why so many people have been calling for Edwin's head for years. And in fact, they've been calling for his head for more than a decade, because he existed in the Deadmines in World of Warcraft.
Also, Van Cleef, I heard, was insanely overpowered as a World of Warcraft TCG card.
I never played it, so I don't know what he did.
Nimish told me, well, first of all, I think you could put 4 copies of Edwin. And then
imagine the possibilities if that was Hearthstone.
I think. And then I also believe that he did something the equivalent of the Master Scheme in Dalaran Heist, which is kind of like everything. I think it like deals damage and draw a card.
When Edwin enters play, put 2 1/1 Defias Thug ally tokens into play with this ally can protect allies with Van Cleef in their names. And then when Edwin is destroyed, you may put an ally named Vanessa Van Cleef from your hand into play.
Oh. Okay, then I totally misremembered what it's affected.
So the thugs protect him, and then even when he dies, he generates more value. I don't know. I don't even know what these mean.
Allies, I think, are friendly minions.
But Dan, it's $150, so it's got to be pretty good.
Oh my gosh! $150 for a copy of 1 Van Cleef?
Yeah, that's what it says.
That almost can buy me a warrior deck.
Don't get ahead of yourself there, Dan.
That being said, I gotta say that on a side note, some of the decks that we've seen today are fairly cheap because of the lack of legendaries, which is a nice sight for all the free-to-play players out there. StrifeCro going for maximum board tempo. This is just a lot of pressure early on. Just kind of focus back in on this game. PNC has cards that are better when they are able to react. Sea Giants can come down, but at full mana cost. That Vaporize ends up restricting more of PNC's plays, even though it gives him a little bit extra life here.
Yeah, now one of the things to note about PNC's primary deck, he has no Frost Novas. He does have them added in his tertiary deck alongside Doomsayers and a Rabble Bouncer. But
he has magic Dart Frogs instead, and he has his own big game hunter for the tempo swing.
But outside of Mirror Image and like Ray of Frost, he has no way to block damage. There's always Mana Cyclone.
Right, so this scenario, he can double Ray of Frost, and he can Mirror Image and then Mana Cyclone.
Or
that sets up 3 minions on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to calculate some Sea Giant swing opportunities, but it looks like he just goes for Sea Giant. StrifeCro does have clean removal with Prep Vendetta into Eviscerate.
He's got Myra's to reload once that's complete, so I think he can feel free to kind of dump stuff here. He can also...
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting Prep into Myra's.
I mean, he had the Vendetta Eviscerate into just Hyper and Togwaggle with a Lackey almost certainly sticking on the board.
And a second Eviscerate.
I'm out of cards.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, that's a bold call.
That's a bold strategy, TJ. Let's see if it pays out for him.
He's got Sap, Edwin Van Cleef, He has Heisper and Togwaggle still.
Right. No Togwaggles. Back to, I mean, so now PNC, obviously PNC is going to be like, okay, I'm going to die if I don't do anything. But if he can survive, you know, the 3 horde waves of zombies in this now PvE content type scenario, then he'll be good to go. And the game will reach its conclusion fairly soon.
Yeah. StrifeCro's like, sure, I could play Heisper and Togwaggle next turn, but I got somewhere to be, man.
PNC has the Mana Cyclone Mirror Image Sea Giant play again, but it's without the Source of Supremacy, it gets a lot worse. Because he only can get 1 spell in. Nice missiles. Now, PNC hesitating to see how he wants to weave in this Mana Cyclone. Can invest more into it, the Rays of Frost. Open for some nice pickups here.
Yeah, PNC suffered a little bit last week from not really deciding on what he wanted to do till too late. He roped out a few key turns. Does get into everything that he wants to this turn. Picks up some gas.
Yeah, I actually just realized that StrifeCro Myra's on 5. And, you know, he has, like, not a lot of mana to spend. Well, it's pretty much just discover 2 legendaries and hope that you overpower your opponent. The other option, of course, is to replace your hand with legendaries, but it seems like this is definitely the much better option.
Yeah, I think the sap is just too crucial. Out of all of these cards, I think the sap is the one that is the highest value.
I mean, even Vendetta can be really powerful here if you Blink Fox and Vendetta for tempo.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like Leroy just plus straight up damage, he already used both eviscerates. I think this is a pretty good hand to get from the Myras. Maybe a couple deadly poisons, try and get him some damage, but other than that, decent stuff.
Ziliax is something that PNC immediately was hovering over, which kind of makes sense given that 5/5 is like the biggest minion. He has to be prepared for a powerful legendary swing on the board. So maybe he sets up like Kagdar with it?
Unity, precision, perfection.
No, because then the Kagdar just goes down for free. You might need that with Conjurer's Calling. So now StrifeCro has the Blink Fox, Vendetta, Edwin play.
Or Blink Fox, Vendetta, Xerog's Crown.
That works too.
Probably
actually, that's probably the most powerful play because you get 2 copies of the powerful legendary minion.
Yep. All right, maybe that changes things. Nah. I'd take 2 8/8s over 1 8/8. How about 2 7/7s?
Taz Noswhiskerer. Interesting if he had this Togwaggle scheme, but he does not. 2 7/7s, a lot of power on the board. PNC does have Sea Giant, but it's actually still a little bit awkward.
He can try and Power of Creation and go for like Damage Stegatron or Sunwalker.
Yep.
To buy himself some time.
Or you could Sea Giant and then Conjurer's Calling for the Mulch Munchers.
Oh yeah, Mulch Munchers as well.
Or you could try to go for the Giants plus the Conjurer's Calling for the Graveheart. That's a much higher percentage chance. 1 Graveheart.
20 damage on board. With Sap, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. So Evil Cable Rock can pick up Lackey, that's a 1 in 5.
Tome of Intellect.
Tome of Intellect can pick up damage, which I think is lower than a 1 in 5. Do 1 out of 5 mage spells deal 5 damage? Or deal 2 damage?
You can still get it through Cable Rat, though. Or even the Miscreant.
Yep, Miscreant.
Doubles his chances.
Yep, higher chance. Looking for damage.
Gets the
And
damage.
he found it. Wow.
StrifeCro is just going to pressure and punch his way and roll over this mage. With the turn 5 Myras with double prep. That's right. Preparation's still a great card.
And he made that play quite fast too. So
Rank 1 legend StrifeCro takes game 1 victory. Made commentary on Monsanto's deck. He's like, Monsanto's playing like the same kind of deck as me, but wow.
Hey, it worked out for him. Well, what can we expect? But StrifeCro going with his tertiary deck. He removed a Deadly Poison, both of his Evil Cable Rats, a Sap, and Hearthstone Togwaggle to make room for double Cold Blood, double Walk the Plank, and Big Game Hunter.
Love it.
And PNC sticking with the primary deck.
Yeah, the double Cold Blood is really interesting to me. He just favors aggro that much, and he wants to go all out.
How much is this worth to you?
How's he gonna do Hearthstone Togwaggle like that after just gave him double 7/7s?
He's gonna kill him with Cold Bloods instead.
Yeah.
Double Walk the Plank and a Big Game Hunter do kind of mean a lot because he doesn't have to use those Eviscerates to kill a Giant. He can just BGH and use the Eviscerates for face later on. The double Cold Blood also allows him to be aggressive. He can suit up a minion early, and PNC will struggle to deal with it because this deck just honestly doesn't have a lot of just hard removal.
It's totally true. Wow, like PNC.
Coin AI.
It's been a while since I've seen that play from Mage.
Wow.
StrifeCro just follows the curve. This is one of the benefits of playing this version of Rogue that has the Vendetta Thief package, is that you can just follow along the curve a lot of times and not worry about comboing everything. Magic Dart Frog is a pretty good card for tempo development as StrifeCro continues to gather resources.
Shadow Flame is very interesting.
Yeah, it actually is very good against mage boards that develop into small, like 2 health minions. You have Khadgar, Sorcerer's Apprentice, you have the Mana Cyclone.
Also, combined with Cold Blood, it allows you to get through an entire board full of Giants.
True.
Which is very interesting. Now you have to have a 4-attack minion plus a combo, but still, just having that ability is pretty big.
PNC not getting the Arcane Missile outcome he was looking for.
If that's not the Arcane Missile outcome he was looking for, I don't really know what is.
3 on the 4/3?
Sure, 3 on the 4/3, but that's a very, very low odds. It's like he was, oh, I'm so unlucky. I didn't kill the 4/3 in a
I think he just wanted
1% chance.
I think he just wanted all of them to hit minions instead of one of them going to face.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so he's going for a Mana Cyclone setup here. Pretty crafty use of the banana so he can pump up this Mana Cyclone just a little bit more. Freeing up his hand with the second elemental evocation. Seems like an opportunity for StrifeCro to set up the Evil Miscreant, which will also set up the Van Cleef for the following turn. Magic Dart Frog, Evil Miscreant. Seems to be the immediate play. Van Cleef, wow.
Okay.
So he wants the pressure now.
I mean, it makes sense. He's got Deadly Poison plus Eviscerate in hand, so 9 on board. If you count.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's very close to lethal. Like, one more round of attacking, and he's there.
It works on multiple levels. First, you're absolutely right. It helps him get the damage going. But the second part is that PNC actually did have answers to it. He could freeze like a big Van Cleef, and then he had even Polymorph as a pickup from one of the spells from Mana Cyclone.
Yeah. Also, he knows there's a Big Game Hunter in the deck. Plus, just Conjurer's Calling. So if you go 2 all in on an Edwin Van Cleef, there's a lot of punishes for it. So just playing it as a 4/4 for tempo, you know, kind of making your opponent second guess whether or not they want to react to it, makes a lot of sense. And also, just if they don't react to it, you hit for 4, which deck outside of Zilliax doesn't have a way to heal up.
Yeah, no, it makes more sense than, when you think about it. I guess I'm so used to acquiring more value off of things like Miscreant and having Van Cleef with combos on the lackeys that, you know, I was blinded by it. Magic Dart Frog here, by the way. Ends up working out very nicely against Ziliax. However, the 2 spells are Deadly Poison and Eviscerate. He could Eviscerate as a base to get past if he wants to combo with another card. It doesn't feel that great, though.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if you're negating the 3 healing, plus unlocking additional damage for you to push, it makes up itself with 4 damage.
The Venging Wrath?
Oh, man. Even Shrink Ray.
Shrink Ray against the Giants is pretty interesting, but I think I like the Eviscerate, or sorry, the Venging Wrath better.
Yeah.
8 damage is 8 damage. Apprentice, what kind of big plays can PNC pull off here?
The card's hidden in the far left, I believe is a Conjurer's Calling.
So he can Conjurer's Calling his Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Cool. Sorcerer's Apprentice, Khadgar, Conjurer's Calling.
Instead, I guess he could go for more board control objectives. So he could Sorcerer's Apprentice, Frostbolt, Ray of Frost.
Well, he could go Sorcerer's Apprentice, double Ray of Frost, Khadgar, Conjurer's Calling. So you freeze the 2/4 attack minions. You play a Khadgar plus 4 2-drops.
Okay. I like it. The alternative is to just go on the removal plan, like Polymorph. He goes Sorcerer's Apprentice, Polymorph, double Ray of Frost.
Yeah, I don't know. 4 2-drop seems really good. He does have 2 randomly generated spells, but how often does he choose AoE? Usually he's looking for just damage.
Might be worried about dying.
He could be worried about dying.
There's 9 damage on board. He's at 19.
But
he knows Leroy and the possibility of the Cold Blood's coming out.
But in that scenario, he would double Ray of Frost. And so it would only be 1 damage on board. I don't know. I kind of liked it. All right, let's get those lackeys. Will we see an Ethereal Lackey for the first time today, Dan?
Nope.
Oh, there it is. It exists.
I gotta use my powers for good.
We saw like 14 lackeys in the series with Monsanto, and none of them were Ethereal.
Deadringer pulls out a Death Rattle card?
Are there any?
I don't think so.
No, there's not. No Death Rattle cards. Oh well.
Sorcerer's Apprentice still waiting. But there's not much that PNC has as like real substantial plays here.
Yeah, I honestly think he's been holding on to a high hand size and just doing the bare minimum to try and unlock Sea Giant if he drew it.
Yeah, or Mountain Giant.
Oh, sorry, I meant Mountain Giant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sea Giant doesn't matter if you have a full hand size. If he was playing into Sea Giant, he would have just gone off last turn. Yeah, playing into Mountain Giant. Because if he'd gone with the play I suggested last turn, he would have used 4 cards.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Mountain Giant hold.
Yeah, and then if StrifeCro dealt with it some way, and then he drew Mountain Giant, it was like 6 mana. Then what does he do? So trying to play with the cards in his deck, Dan, not with just with the cards in his hand.
So then what can he do now? Can he still just re-stuff with the Ray of Frost copies?
Honestly, it looks like he just has to go for it. Try and fill up. Oh, okay.
Conjurer's Calling the 2/2 instead, and then raise to freeze. You get a ray, and you get a ray, and you get a banana. And PNC is out.
He broke!
He drops the peel. Which is not quite the same as dropping the mic. But he said, I'm out.
Low attack minions, so no great Shadow Flame here. Ugh.
Wow, this is just...
I think you take Pickpocket just to take Pickpocket.
have value.
Yeah. And then...
I think you want to deal with the lifesteal and you want to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice so you can backstab and walk the plank.
He could backstab Avenging Wrath.
Okay. Shadow Flame. Oh, because the magic dart frog.
Ah, the magic dart frog, and then he'll be able to
guarantee a clear.
Yeah. All right, that's smart. Avenging Wrath might be better though, because Avenging Wrath will get some damage to face as well.
But he wants Avenging Wrath to go damage all face.
Yeah, that's very good point. Very good point.
Okay, so trade, swing to the face. Pickpocket for 1. Power of creation.
What?
That's a good one. Oh, the pickpocket to deal the damage.
Yeah, pickpocket to push the additional 1 damage.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's just he's spotting these small interactions very nicely. Just shows his experience and also like understanding like all these corner case interactions.
Yeah, I mean, Magic Dart Frog, not a card that he's probably
Yeah,
used to playing with in Rogue.
I just wasn't really accounting for it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a weird situation, and Power of Creation, honestly, is great because 1, it gives him a chance to just lethal damage with Reckless Rocketeer or Argent Commander. 2, it's just instant board presence from nothing. So, and now PNC really doesn't have a way to defend against this. He's got Khadgar plus the Mirror Image, but that honestly just buys him time, and then he doesn't have anything to capitalize on the time. Like, if he draws Mountain Giant after that, it's really expensive. He can't combo it with Conjurer's Calling, or at least not in the way that he wants to. So he's got to go for it. We'll see if this can buy him enough time.
Yeah, Shadow Flame being gone now. Probably a big relief. PNC is all in. And this is not really an effective all in. PNC seems to have disconnected, and StrifeCro, of course, will wait for that reconnection.
We have the technology, Dan.
Yes, we will wait. Reconnected, and Leroy Jenkins is drawn. I don't know if that's enough to kill him because of the taunts, but this Power of Creation would be nice.
Damage Stigatron! Oh my goodness!
Yeah! Mage is getting wrecked.
By Mage cards. And that is...
That's just death on board. PNC can see StrifeCro easy 2-0 as